Alright, so non-compete. I bumped into this channel, not realizing that actually, yeah, the world's most heroic music. Here we go. So this is the comment that I wrote, right? And I respect this channel and whatever. Man, my system is so awesome it explains this entire channel. American Johnson is communist. Anger, Earth doesn't like capitalism, narcissism, sadness, fire, but does like some Asian Vietnamese girl, Luna. Asia, laughter, wind. I am also communist Earth dude, but I still can see that authority, wind, is a bit more relevant right now. Capitalists can burn people for profit, but authority can free society with regulation. Capitalists play by the rules of money, authority makes those rules. Very, very sophisticated, I would say, comment. And then I get a response. That's why I'm an anarchist. Not sure how it fits in your system, but anarchism is about dismantling all forms of arbitrary or unjust hierarchy. How would that translate into elements? So, it's just beautiful, right? It's a beautiful two-segment conversation, I would say, that I will turn into a video, basically. Because, talking about authority, it's fucking annoying, right? It is fucking annoying. So we're gonna have this episode 10. Anarchy. Oh. Anarchy. There's one more word that I wanted to add. Let's keep it for later if I come up with this. So anarchy is the most important thing for that guy, because he wants to kind of dismantle what he sees bad about the authority. But how do you reprogram entire system? This is where things get very interesting, indeed. The reason why I said he likes an Asian girl is because Earth crushes the wind, and it feels more powerful when you crush an opponent. However, I just got, the most recent vision I get is from the movie Scott Pilgrim versus the World. The way you complete the movie, because you have to complete the movie. This is all of a sudden a fucking weird video, because you really have to keep up with my enlightenment process. It is very deep stuff. So, Scott Pilgrim, just the world. How do you complete this movie? I think I found a very interesting pin. One switch that fixes the entire movie. And it's the I got a spare life moment. This is a very special moment because after you lose life, you get to realize who your real opponent is, who your real boss is. And you probably get to spend that life rewinding far back to where you want to go. How far do you want to go in life? How much are you willing to reset and dive into the same shit that you already did? Will depend on how much you actually love your life. Now, I'm gonna get to the obvious question over here. I always do that, but there's always, a better story to be told than just plain answering of how, you know, a system can be reprogrammed, because some things, you know, require winding up, going back into the past, looking at something else. As I said, you must value your life in order to actually change your life. And so you go back to the past. Scott Pilgrim chose to go back to refight the fight and be like, oh, I have self-respect now. I don't have the sort of love. I have self-respect. And he sort of managed to actually defeat the final boss. But I think what actually happened is that he created a lot of chaos and destruction, and he became the Ark, right? He has taken over the lead from everyone else. He has been able to take Ramona for himself, and Knife sort of, you know, said, I think I'm too good for you, you know. It's getting a bit creepy. You know, you cheat, you say you don't cheat. It makes sense that you didn't cheat, but you're still very insecure about your hair. Like, what the fuck is that? You don't have ego at all. How did you defeat the final boss? Right? So it makes sense that Knife says, Ciao, get the fuck out of here. I'm gonna cut you into pieces. She doesn't say that. Her name says that, and that's a very important point as well. That, you know, you should know in general. Now, so someone takes an arc, and someone can take a prize, right? It's like, okay, I'm gonna take this girl, and it's like the end. The movie ends. But the way that you really succeed in completing the movie, in order that the movie doesn't actually end with a press continue motion, you actually have to go through every single evil X and make them not evil anymore. That's the best way that you can defeat your opponents, because all of a sudden they're very, very helpful for your self-growth, and you actually don't even want to go to the last X, and maybe you don't even want to save Ramona, because Ramona got entangled in such a stupid situation where she just pretends that she's programmed. It's like, this guy literally knows how to get into my mind. It's like so stupid. And this is what I'm talking about when I'm talking about elements, right? Ramona is probably, you know, water-ish or in windish. She doesn't seem to stick to anything. She could be fire very much as well. But she doesn't seem very narcissistic either. She seems to be very, say, okay, I'll do it. Okay, I'll do it. If you force me to, you know. And a person with the highest ego, obviously the last boss, has a lot of force to force Ramona into whatever he wants, right? Be super cold, even colder than she would normally be able to take care of herself. She's cold, he's colder, he beats her up, he programs her. He's a good programmer if he created the League of Seven X's, right? And obviously you have to watch the movie a bunch of times to understand what the fuck is going on right now in this video. Anyways, so yeah, there's a lot of homework. People hate homework. I hate homework. But I also hate this system of schools. And you can start to untangle right now what's going on, right? You saw a movie, you completed it, and you realize it teaches so much when you actually understand that you can layer on top and you can become the true Archon. The true Archon is not the fake Archon who just takes stuff, right? First you have to understand what true authority is, right? A true authority completes and finishes the true essence of the movie or a game or whatever. It finds the true essence or a higher essence, and it improves upon it because it's capable of shrinking down whatever's going on, or maybe even expanding. It has the power to arc uh, the entire essence, right? And the essence is not what the movie is, but what the movie is trying to tell, what the most important parts of the movie are. If you capture the essence, you're capable of creating your own movie, first of all. You're able to copy, which is the element of water. You're able to shrink, which is the element of earth, one of my favorites. And the element of fire is, expanding, but not actually expanding. It's actually sharing. And it's not really copies. It's actually creating a movie where you get to bring a lot of actors. You basically create a fire gathering, right? It's a movie that gathers people into creating another movie. If one, happens. Sometimes there are too many mistakes and the movie doesn't happen. But what you can do is a general fire, element. You bring people in. It's like, fire gathering is just, let's try and make fire. Let's make something happen in the middle of the forest, in the middle of nowhere. Is it gonna happen, right? And the last element is the wind. This is where you just expand and improve on every little kraken, every little imperfection of an already existing movie, and you basically remix it, right? Because the wind has the power of just flipping switches all the way. Now the combinations of these elements are also very interesting, but I've already, introduced one of those super powerful concepts. By the way, one of the biggest powerful concepts that you might not be able to comprehend is that I don't have a script. I only have the essence, and essence always helps me to find the right path no matter where I'm going. Except in my life where I'm stuck in a fucking box trying to get the light of God shining on me, which is a pretty tough, situation, but I finally cracked the full potential of what's going on. There's obviously insecurities that I will have to find and defeat. And definitely evil axes that will stand in front of not just Ramona's life, not just the person that I love, life. Most of the time, the best thing you can do is play a lot of games at once, because you're going to pick up on those different elements, you're going to be able to combine them and find a bit deeper essence, and all of a sudden the game doesn't play like everyone else plays it. The game plays like you're truly searching and really finding things that you never thought were there in the first place. I always imagine a Skyrim for this instance. The starting sequence is amazingly deep. When you go through the prison catacombs, there are choices that you can make, whether to even kill people or just run through the entire thing, totally unharming anyone except maybe the beasts like the spiders. And then obviously you can pick sides, but the best side to pick is obviously, as I said, I introduced to this guy in the comment. There was the system, and there were the sort of abusers, right? The thieves. There was the system scientists, and there were the thieves, the thugs, the abusers of people who simplify things. Because when it's very simple, it's very easy to just pick it apart and take it for yourself. However, it is unstable. It's like uranium. It's like one of those nuclear weapon, things. Now I think, now that I looked very freshly into the system, I think the system is very carefully crafted, and certain people, illuminated ones, in fact, and illumination doesn't come from, anywhere else but the earth. when you start simplifying things to incredible amounts, you become nuclear. I do in fact think nuclear weapons don't exist. The real weapons that do exist, as Stefan Molyneux very well understands, is the weapon of speech. That these old people know so very much and so very simple things and understand what kind of consequences it has. They just play the game of life. They sit back and enjoy looking at people growing. That's it. They just look at that, what's going on. So every time you watch a movie, there are a bunch of people who don't actually understand that this is a gathering, that this is where people make fun of each other most of the time, where people make mistakes. That's how you have to look at the movie, as a fire gathering event, where most of the time the movie sucks. It's filled with thugs and wrong ideas. Even the movie itself can become toxic, right? And people must, on their own levels, must adopt anarchy. If anarchy means overarch or truearchy, you support anarchy? Oh boy, that's too easy. It's remove. Obviously removing the stupid archy. That again, Scott Pilgrim chose to defeat the final boss, and he chose to focus on the final boss instead of his mistakes that he filled the entire movie with, and it's so laughable. I fucking laughed my ass off. I took Anna Kendrick to my spirit realm, and I'm like, holy shit, this is the best movie ever to laugh at. When you realize that Scott Pilgrim is a piece of shit garbage. That's the nuclear weapon right there. Yeah, I feel proud of myself. Feel proud of myself. But basically, okay, so overarchy. If you're capable of encapsulating a content, it should be overarchy. That's what I believe in. And by the way, you must invent things as soon as they come up and they make sense right there and there. People will make fun of you because they want to pick it apart and understand whether it's stupid or not. Some people just use all kinds of different techniques. You're literally fighting through a fucking minefield most of the time. Sometimes a ninja pops up and you just gotta beat that motherfucker. Sometimes a big ass demon pops up, and holy shit, have I seen one of those times. And holy shit, was my life cracked open. But I fought back because I was like, I have a ninja spirit. You know, that's the ninja school that I was building together. I was prepared for this, right? Somebody really, really challenged me in a deep level, and I didn't even see the person. And now I understand that the entire world is challenging me in very, very deep levels. It's incredible how you can be trapped in the box, go to one job only, do one job, be linked only with the internet. Internet will show you incredible amount of demons that you have to fight and arcs that you have to conquer. And you cannot be a really self-confident guy if you're not doing that. You're gonna find a lot of ego. I just found like, oh shit, my ego is growing, and I feel like I'm gonna fucking crush the entire world, right? I feel that there was an egg meme, right, that PewDiePie and Mr. Beast likes, but only because that egg is just gonna crash into them so hard that they will have to create a fire gathering for me, or maybe multiple, or maybe keep on burning the fire for the rest of my life. I don't know. All I want is the best for humanity, which always comes back to you to reward you for all the work that you did. That's what overarchy means, is that you don't just remove the most badass guy from the field. You focus on having fun while doing it, so that no victory feels like a defeat afterwards. You don't feel like you cannot go back and just interact with the guy that you just defeated. I think one of the best couples in Scott Pilgrim, the movie, is Envy Adams and Todd. I don't know the last name in the movie. I just love Envy Adams because Envy Adams, as you may know, is also Captain Marvel. And all of a sudden you can start to think, holy shit. So that's why you like them? No. They have the best puns, they have the best interactions, they have all the best things, and Todd just blew up because Scott Pilgrim made a really big mistake of toying with him too much. But it's almost like fair. It's almost like fair because police came in and destroyed him instead of, but he just kicked him in the face. It's such a fucking awesome interaction. I love the song, the demon head, and everything. It's fucking amazing. Anyways, so how do you reprogram the system? You start with yourself first. You figure out what the core principles are. Mark Passio definitely understands that as well. People have a very, very weak foundation for core principles of how they look in life. I don't think Mark Passio is a good teacher, by the way, but he definitely inspired me to, do better teaching. Obviously, the last generation that we can't really love them too much. We just have to respect them. That's why it said, respect your mother, thy father. You can't really love them too much, because I can't love my father and mother. They sort of feel, but they don't feel, they don't get in tune with you because you're just higher level than them. It's just so hard to leave them. They definitely give you the gifts of life that you have to take, and it's fucking sad. I mean, it has to be. So I hope I helped people here to understand what they have to do. It's just that simple. Just pick things you like, have fun, you'll create a gravity around you. I've already explained the 6 steps that create that gravity in your life, and eventually you're going to pop out. And then you'll know what to do because you understand what elements are and how to possess those elements in your life. Thank you guys for watching. See ya.